A big crypto alert. They're truly coming for it all. But wait, is it that cryptocurrency is used for money laundering and it's fraudulent? Or is it the new financial system? That's what we're going to break down in today's video. What I work to do is make complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. So we can get a piece of the pie. But I'm telling you, 2024 to 2025 is our Super Bowl if you are investing in crypto. We're going to break that down at the back end of every video. I share with you exactly what I'm doing from my current paradigm. But I want to share with you a couple resources I have. We get thousands of questions across all our platforms. JV, what are you doing? So number one is I set up a free consultation with my licensed insurance team. Many of you guys hear me talk about tier one capital. I insure my wealth, and I'll break down my strategy on the back end of the video in tax code 7702, Infinity Banking Concept. In the description down below, you can click to get a free consultation, okay? Number two is a absolutely free 16-page guide on exactly what I'm going to speak about on the back end of the video to help support you to kind of get the framework and get the ideas going. And number three, we do have a paid education academy that you could dive into the academy. You have to interview for that. It's a private academy. So let's dive right into this. And that's in the description of my YouTube channel or in my social media platform. We'd love to see you on the inside. All right, so let's talk about this. Are they against crypto or are they trying to get a piece of crypto? I'm going to go with the latter, guys. They're trying to get a piece of crypto. And Gary Gensler is basically doing what he needs to do to get his next job. That's what they're doing, guys. The CFTC, he was head of the CFTC. He was head MIT professor for cryptocurrency. They put him in this position. Now he's buying for the next position. That's what they're doing. That's what they do. Jay Clayton was the head of the SEC that initiated the case against Ripple on December 20th, 2020. And then he left to consult for a cryptocurrency fund. Then he is now on the board of directors, for the bank bailing committees. Let's back up to 2012. Gary Gensler was part of starting the FOMC, the Future Oversight Committee, to regulate non-bank financial institutions. Think about what's happening right now. Okay. You had Jay Clayton, who was part of the bank bailing committee, who initiated the case against Ripple. And if you look at his board of directors, just go to ChatGPT and type in Jay Clayton. How many boards is he on? Type in Gary Gensler. How many jobs has he had, guys? This is not about cryptocurrency going away. This is about them getting it set up for their next future job, set up so that they can maintain power. So, knowing this game, you don't want to get played. That's why I am so strict and disciplined on the way that I do my crypto, the way that I exit, the way that I secure, and the way that I leverage my assets to buy more assets. It's so important that you don't just play the crypto game. It's extremely important. Now, the great news about it is that's why they're upset about this. And Gary Gensler's stance on this is that the SEC is here to protect investors because we can't make informed decisions. That's why they say that we're not educated enough to make informed decisions. It's our money, guys. It's our money. And the system that we're living in America is a Ponzi scheme. Think about it. There's no money in the system, guys. There's no money in the system. My dollar is your debt. Your debt is my dollar. If there's no debt in the system, then there's no money in the system. Okay. So they're going to have to lower interest rates on the back end of this year. And when they do, holy cow, your crypto is going to go parabolic. Your assets are going to go parabolic. Your house is going to go parabolic. And it's going to make it extremely unaffordable for a middle class person to live. So this is our Super Bowl, guys. You have the Bitcoin halving, you have the Bitcoin ETF, and then you're going to have interest rates drop with the presidential election. It's going to be wild. Okay. But I wanted to show you this stuff that, we know on August 25th, 2023, Biden administration unveils new crypto tax reporting rules. But I thought that cryptocurrency was used for money laundering. Why would you want to tax money laundering? Why would you want to if it's used for money laundering, wouldn't you just shut it down? I think about that for just now. Or would you create tax rules for it? Which one is it, guys? But it goes even deeper. So as we were looking this way, January, beginning of 2024, January 2nd, 2024, the new tax reporting obligation took effect on New Year's Day. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which passed Congress in November 2021, including a provision, but remember, crypto's a fraud, right? It included a provision and amendment to the tax code to require anyone who receives $10,000 or more in cryptocurrency in the course of their trade or business to make a report to the IRS about the transaction. The report must include, among other things, the name, address, social security number, and the person from whom the funds were received, the amount received, and the date of the nature of the transactions. If you don't file a report within 15 days of receiving the transaction, you could be found guilty of felony offense. This stuff is wild, guys. I thought cryptocurrency is a fraud. It's not here to stay. It's going to zero. It's going away. Then why the hell would they be building these? Why would this be active? We have to really think logically about this and stop getting fudded out of this bullshit. Elizabeth Warren, going all in trying to shut this down. Jamie Dimon trying to shut it down, saying that, if he was the government, he would shut it down. You own a cryptocurrency blockchain. You own your own coin. So you're going to shut down your own system? No, it's a dog and pony show where we're all being played, that it manipulates the public into the left hemisphere of the brain, which is a logical circuit, which lowers your frequency, which gets you in fear. It's a low fear, anxiety, stress. They don't want us waking up to the right hemisphere, which is light, love, and positivity, creation, expanded consciousness. And what they're trying to do right now is get themselves set up so they can financially benefit from this. It's that simple, guys. So you have to know the game so you don't get played. So yesterday we talked about this. What caused Bitcoin's 10% crash? Was it Matrix Port or Jim Cramer? So, or was it leverage, right? Bitcoin cratered almost 10% below 41,000 early on Wednesday. We call it the Cramer effect, right? So Jim Cramer says something that does the opposite. He said, again, the guy who sold all his crypto and said he wouldn't touch it, basically said that it's here to stay. It's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. That's what he said. So all their narratives just flipped, guys. So their narratives went from it's a fraud used for money laundering to it's a flight to safety from the largest asset manager in the world, Jim Cramer, who all these people look at as, for financial advice. He now says it can't be stopped. And at the same time, on January 2nd, rules are implemented to tax all this stuff, guys. It's just it's just a new monetary system. That's the way I look at it. I don't get caught up in all the bullshit. We can argue all day. It's a new monetary system that's coming in, distributed ledger technology, on-demand liquidity, real-time payments. It's an even playing field. Money's going to move at the speed of light. And some of us are going to take advantage of some of the great buying opportunities, but you have to have a game plan, because what goes up will come down, just like the dot-com boom, just like the auto boom. It's not going to be different than any other cycle, guys. It's going to normalize after regulation comes in. There's going to be the big three. It's going to be the same thing: auto, internet, everything. There's going to be the big three. They're going to dominate. I guarantee these companies are going to become banks, right? Their own banks. Banks are going to transition to crypto-friendly banks. And then you're just going to see a normalization of, we're all going to forget about this moment. There's going to be people sitting on their porch going, I wish I had the opportunity to buy into this cryptocurrency at this price, and I should have sold. I watch my crypto go up and I watch it come collapsing down. I know I am already predicting the future. And so that's why I have a game plan that has no greed in it. Okay. So Bitcoin spot ETF proposal to be rejected by SEC. That's the report that came out yesterday. So SEC Chair Gary Gensler is not embracing the crypto in the US, and it might even be a long shot to expect that he would vote to approve a Bitcoin ETF. Okay. Here's my narrative on this, guys. He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't make that decision, guys. Gary Gensler doesn't make the decision on that. Okay. You got to understand, he is going to make the decision that's going to get him the next job. That's just how it works, man. That's just how it works, family. So you have to know that, right? He's making a decision when it's ready for him to get his next spot, right? You got BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, saying it's a flight to safety. But you got Gary Gensler, who met with FTX 6 months before it collapses. Guys, we just have to get out of the FUD. It's about raising our consciousness, understanding how this works, right? Jesus says the devil is the prince of the earth. We don't want to play their games, guys. There is no invisible enemy. There's nobody stopping you from being great. Now, here's my exact game plan. Here's what I'm doing. Okay. Really important. This is what I am doing, and I'll continue inside my academy. I share what I'm doing. We have our interview program you can go through, but I'm telling you guys here as well. So I have a cryptocurrency portfolio that I've been investing in since late 2019 going into 2020. I started really ramping up in 2020, and I've been dollar cost averaging since then, right? So I buy the dips, dollar cost average. I pulled profits in 2021 to 2022. I did the opposite of a lot of people. I should have pulled more. That's why we created Merlin. I pulled profits. I put them into, we basically started our insurance policies. So I put it into business. I put it into other things. So I diversified outside of crypto. That's what made me, there's a difference between being rich and wealthy, right? I would consider myself well off based on the life that I am living. And if you look at the population, if you make $30,000 a year, you're in the top 1%. If you make half a million in America, you're in the top 1%, right? So this year I should be in the top 1%. That's from on my parents' couch, right? But here's what I did, guys. So I didn't buy Lambos. I didn't buy houses. I didn't buy a bunch of shit. I stayed very, very conservative with my bills, and every single bit of money I got in, I put back into the markets. When it boomed, I took some money out. I secured it. So now I built this cycle as we go into the biggest bull run in history. And now here's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have a really nice, healthy crypto portfolio. I call it healthy because it's diversified in payment tokens, gaming tokens. You got infrastructure. You got what they call exchange tokens. I have some shit coins too. Shit coins, there's zero attachment to those as all, right? It's about 10% of my portfolio. So when all this stuff goes up simultaneously, well, after Bitcoin halving, that's going to go up. Money's going to pour into altcoins. So when that starts to go up, I'll be exiting Merlin. That's why we created this. We used to have spreadsheets. So spreadsheets got us pretty far. I literally had a spreadsheet that I would look at that's still in our academy. You can look at that. But this right here, Merlin, we created with 36,000 lines of code to solve this problem. So we have an interface where you can see all your crypto in one shot. You can see the daily gains and losses, and then you set up your exit strategy. So when it's going up, I can be sitting at dinner, boom, I get a text message, JB, you're 10% away from XRP hitting $3.70. So I'm ready to activate. When it hits that, I activate, I pull profits in there too. You can put what your tax bracket is. It tells me what I potentially what I owe Uncle Sam, right? I put that away, I pull it into a stable coin, and then I work to figure out the opportunity cost of that money. For me, I will be max funding my index universal life policies. They're ready to be max funded. I'll be max funding those. The reason why I do that is because I want to secure my wealth. I don't trust the system. So I want to secure my wealth in tier one capital. Tier one capital is at the bottom of the risk pyramid. That's what insurance is, right? Insurance is tier one capital. It's the safest capital in the world. I get market like returns. I also can borrow against my policy tax free, and there's a zero floor. So if the market collapses in a 401k, you go collapsing down with it. I stop at my principal. So when we recover, you're trying to regain after 4 years. I just start from baseline and I start building back up. I also like that it's secured, and I also it's has a little bit of help for my family if there's a death benefit or with the death benefit part. Then we have precious metals. I have silver. I'm getting into gold this year. Real estate is something I'm definitely getting into for tax liability. So I don't really have a passion around real estate, but I'm bringing experts around me so that I can get into real estate because I understand I got into a little bit last year. I saw the benefits of my taxes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Next level, what I did is it's almost done the Rockefeller Trust. I did build a foundation as well. I set up a foundation through the same trust company. So I'm learning the power of foundations and giving back and things like that and the tax benefits of that as well. So that's the next phase for me, right? I'm a baby crawling in that phase. But yeah, so I'm just being transparent with you guys. I just really hope that you guys are building something outside of crypto as well. Crypto is not your retirement. People get upset when I say that, but I learned that from wise counsel, and that's what changed everything for me. I went to school, I got a job, I was an executive at a bank, I had a 401k, right? The market collapses, my 401k screwed, whatever, right? So it's a vertical strategy. So when I met somebody, wise counsel, and why I went into insurance, that's how it all started is they said, hey, listen, I was like, oh, when this goes to this and crypto, I'm going to retire. They're like, crypto's not your retirement, dude. That's an investment that is very speculative that you could pull to secure in things that can guarantee your retirement, right? So you don't want to look at crypto, a very speculative asset with no regulation, as a investment or a retirement plan. You want to pull off of those investments, hit these boom and bust cycles, and then pull money to lock it into things that give you passive income or give you future income or tax-free income, right? So for me, Index Universal Life is going to be the tax-free income when I retire. I'm going to have a policy. I have a policy to leverage, and all these will be put inside of my trust, right? And then the real estate part of it will be twofold. It'll be eventually for equity, for doors, right? To get a little bit of money off the doors. I'm not really, that's why I'm being honest with you guys. My lack of education around real estate, I was like, why would I go into real estate when I keep creating businesses and keep innovating in our businesses, and we're increasing our earned income. Entrepreneurship is the quickest way to wealth, 100% the quickest way to wealth. Also, great tax benefits as well. So I was like, why would? But then when I started getting large tax bills, they're like, you need real estate. I'm like, oh shit. So now I know, and now I'm surrounding myself with experts, and I'm building into it, and I'm trying to understand it. And I want to get rental properties now while interest rates are high, because when interest rates go down, those properties are going to go through the roof. So I'll have two things. I'll have a rental property. I'll have equity will shoot up really quickly, and then I can refinance and get a lower payment and maybe make a little bit more money off the door. So, yeah, so those are just my thought process around that, because I think real estate's going to go straight up through the roof, or assets in general are going to go straight up through the roof when interest rates come down in this type of hyperinflation environment. And it's going to get wild, man. It's going to get really good for people who have a plan, and it's going to look really bad for people who didn't prepare. Just being honest with you guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Again, in the description of this video is you can apply for our private program. You can download a free 16-page guide that shows you exactly what I do, and then you can set up a free consultation with my licensed insurance team. So I love you guys. Look forward to helping you. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.